So the big tax question is this: how do wealthy people keep their money working for them when selling their business, real estate, or other highly appreciated assets without paying hundreds of thousands to millions of dollars in tax? What if we, as business and real estate owners who have poured blood, sweat, and tears to growing our wealth, and who didn't hire expensive tax attorneys and CPAs to map out an exit strategy, knew their secrets? Instead of recreating the wheel, why can't we just model the way they deferred 30 to 50% in tax, paid off debt, funded their next business dream, and most importantly, leave a financial legacy to give to the causes we believe in most? What if their secrets weren't complicated at all, and you just need a guide who is a few steps ahead of you? That is the question, and this podcast will give you the answers. My name is Brett Swarts, and welcome to Capital Gains Tax Solutions.
Welcome to the Build to Billions podcast, where we guide successful entrepreneurs and investors on their journey from millions to billions. We believe the key to scaling and compounding your wealth in life starts every single day with the mindset and practice of stewardship over ownership and applying billionaire biblical principles. Our ultimate goal is to have you scale and compound your wealth in life so you can give more all the way to help MVPs. My name is Brett Swarts, and each and every episode we're joined by the world's top entrepreneurs, investors, millionaires, and billionaires, where they share their stories, insights, and wisdom with us so we can all make a bigger impact. I'm excited about our next guest. They're out of actually my hometown in an area of Sacramento, Rancho Cordova. That area growing up was a really cool spot. And I'm excited about these two guests because we're going to talk about building a city center. And it's really designed around a chance to be able to build into a community, create a lot of jobs, and really big projects, which is really neat. Our two guests are Josh and Charlie, and I'll do Josh Wood and Charlie, and I'm going to pronounce the last name Tiwana. I think so you pronounce it Tiwana. And we are going to break down their background and what they're doing. But Josh is a renowned leader in real estate development, infrastructure planning, and sports entertainment with a proven track record of executing large-scale and high-impact projects, and so much more. And Charlie also has a really amazing background. She is also the co-founder and president of COO of Co's Pure, and she is a seasoned leader in real estate development, bringing extensive experience in managing complex multi-use commercial, residential, and healthcare projects. Josh and Charlie, how are we doing today?
Doing great. Thanks for having us. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thanks, Brett. It's a pleasure to speak with you.
Excellent. Let's just dive right into a little bit of your story, Josh, and then Charlie, and then we'll get into the project. But Charlie or Josh, we'll start with Josh. Josh, a little bit about more about your story and your current focus.
Story is like where I grew up and
Yeah. Well, a little bit more about your story and your focus. Yeah.
So my story. So I was born into foster care. Me and my brother were adopted and moved to a town called McLeod, and basically grew up in a really small town. Able to come down to Sacramento when it was time for college, and I've been here ever since. Basically living in Rancho Cordova for almost all of that time, and. From the beginning, when I got down here, I was interested in the politics of development and where those intersected. So everything from running campaigns to get major projects approved, to helping to cut deals on big fee impact programs or policies that would help spur development. So through that, I was blessed to be able to run the campaign for the Kings Arena for Mayor Kevin Johnson as executive director, CEO of that campaign. Actually, two of them because it took twice to win, but we did it. And we were able to get the Kings downtown and create 4,000 jobs and save the team and the identity for the city. After that, I was able to work with Sky River Casino, and we were able to get them through the whole process of getting the approval with the city, the compact, and all that stuff to get Sky River Casino approved. So two of the biggest ticket entertainment projects in the region. I've been blessed and able to be in the position of being in the leadership role of getting them through and approved and built for our community.
It's amazing. As a lifelong Kings fan myself and growing up in Sacramento, man, that was a major feat. And it was some dark days in those days to think that they could be in Vegas or wherever else they were going to be moved to. And so, but yeah, so grateful with all the other Sacramentians, right, that the Kings stayed. It's been tough this last year and a half with the team a little bit here. But it's tough to lose Fox. This is a whole nother episode we could be going into.
We could join the episode of losing Fox. That was rough.
I'm still hurting. We were like 2 plays away from beating the Warriors on that, that playoff, and we kind of let him get off the hook on that one. But that being said, moving on, we got to keep going here. Charlie, a little bit more about your story and your focus.
Yeah, absolutely. So I started off in real estate development, 13 years ago, and I started in single family housing, multifamily, mixed use commercial projects, just all over California, Nevada, and Missouri. Missouri was kind of a fun little project there. But I basically took projects from acquisition to disposition and everything in between, and being able to work with both our debt and equity capital partners, and overseeing our project managers and working through the politics of all of the development pieces in every single jurisdiction the projects were in, was a lot of fun, and it was fantastic experience. And so from that, the company that I was with, I helped develop the medical arm so it was development of medical projects. It included acute care facilities as well as post-acute care facilities. And so on the post-acute care side, it was skilled nursing facilities and assisted living facilities. And it was primarily for what the need is, and the need is still pretty great right now for post-acute care facilities with an aging population, a rapidly aging population, and one of the biggest, right? And so those facilities are needed. There aren't really enough beds. And so took that route about 5-6 years ago and kind of helped create that arm before Josh and I took on this new venture and founded Cause Peer Development. So yeah, excited to be here. Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. I love it. Let's dive right in. And if you want to learn more about Charlie and Josh's story and everything that Cause Peer is doing, you can go to causepeer.com. That's causepeer.com. It's still with a K, K-O-Z, peer.com. All right, so let's dive right in. So, Josh, give me the vision for this particular project and what it means to building a city center. Like, what's the number one secret when it comes to building a city center, given your background with helping to kind of, in a sense, save the identity with Kevin Johnson and the rest of the team with the Sacramento Kings, and now you're doing it kind of a new way in Rancho Cordova. But what's the number one secret to building a city center?
Oh, it's building an authentic identity. So after those 2 major campaigns, I was talking to the city manager of Rancho Cordova, and he was, making, joking around with me at an event. And he's like, Josh, you've done these 2 major catalytic projects for our region, and you live here and you've done nothing in your community. We don't have a downtown. And me and my wife and my family have raised my kids here. We love Rancho Cordova. We love, everything about it. It's a clean, safe community. We love our church at River City. But one of the things that we've seen is there's no place to go. You can go to Folsom. You can go downtown. You can go out to Roseville. But there's nowhere in our area of the region that you can actually go out and have a good time and have a downtown. Yet it's an incredibly fast-growing city. It's the 5th fastest growing city in California. It's the fastest growing in the region. It's becoming a hub, basically a quantum city as far as AI goes in our region, and it's getting a lot of these big AI companies and partnerships that they have. Like, they just announced a partnership with the city and NVIDIA. So the city is really on the move, and to capture that energy, you have to have a central gathering place. And so, one of the big keys was really going out there, doing an analysis and figuring out what would really work to do that and catalyze that downtown. And, from our studies and our feasibility, we came down to an arena would be the perfect catalyst to kick off a downtown entertainment district with hotels and nightlife and day life and all these different things.
Amazing. So I got it. So building an authentic identity is the number one secret. Love that 5th fastest growing city in California. So you got to have, people wanting to be there and moving there, which is good. And I love the way you say capture the energy center meeting place. When you say an arena, Josh, walk us through what you mean by that. I don't want to just take it for granted. Like, what do you envision? What does the city envision this arena being used for? And walk us through a little bit more, capturing the project vision.
Yeah, well, it started out of driving tourism, and so we were looking at originally a convention center. This was 10 years ago, and we went through that, looked at stadiums. The problem with stadiums is they're great when it's sunny, but when it's too sunny, they're not. And when it's too cold, they're not. So what would be a thing that could be a catalyst for energy and growth around it, year round? And that was a sports arena. So We're building a 7,500 seat mixed use or multi-use arena. So that means it can take a variation of all different kinds of sports and events and things to bring the community in, but not just things for the community here in the sense of graduations and things like that, but bringing in new things to the community that we've never had here before. If you look at it, the size arena that we're building, every single market in the country that's a top 25 market has an average of 2 of these. We're the only one without one. So we're missing on every single concert and tour and entertainment group. All these things just pass by our region. Well, then let's capture them. Let's capture them out here and use that to basically catalyze and create the energy to spark the first phase of downtown.
I love it. My niece is in MMA, and she's in jiu-jitsu for a lot. She's been through blue belts, and she's won championships and all these different things. She's moving to her first MMA fight. Like I envision like MMA could be there, right? I envision you said graduations. I envision concerts. Comedians, like all of that opportunity. So let's move over to Charlie. Charlie, when you think about and are helping to build out this vision and get it through, what most excites you besides or add to what Josh just said?
Yeah. So what excites me the most about the project is actually, it's being able to create a community center, a center where people that live in the community and the surrounding communities can go to. And it's for all ages, right? So it's for families and it's for people that want to go and be entertained and have fun and go to a concert. But bringing in kind of that energy of all the residents within Rancho Cordova, which, as Josh mentioned, is the 5th fastest growing city. And that's because there was a lot of land that was available that was specific planned for residential housing. And so a lot of those specific plans are now coming online and have been coming online over the past several years. So you have a lot of new housing that's being built out in this area, and you have folks that are moving from all over California and even out of state that are moving to this area that want a place to go to, with their families and be entertained, right? Like we all want to go someplace and have fun and be entertained. And so that's something that's really, really exciting to me is that energy and that entertainment piece. But what's even more than that is the project itself it's anchored by the arena, right? So it's a sports anchored mixed use entertainment district. And so being anchored by the arena is fantastic because that's the first phase of the project. But then you have the mixed use components of it. So you have residential that's going to be on site, and we're programming over 1,000 residential units on site. So that activation stays within that district. It stays within the city center. And having it planned that way allows for businesses to flourish, right? Because a lot of times what you have is you have all these business districts and you have, multiple areas where you have offices and it's just office buildings and restaurants. But when people aren't in the office and, on weekends, a lot of those restaurants don't do well and a lot of those other businesses don't do well. And so we thoughtfully programmed it in a way that created that energy year round and had a mixture of housing, have a mixture of hotels, have a mixture of retail, commercial, restaurants, right? And also have a mixture of businesses. And so having that kind of office space programmed into it as well. And so that's something that's kind of a little bit different than with the programming, because we wanted it to be a place that always has energy and is that kind of project like John. So.
Got it. That really brings it to life here. So the arena is the catalyst or the main piece, but then everything that's built around that. And I love the part of keeping the residential mixed use all close together, right? 1,000 houses, that's amazing, right? And that makes sense that it doesn't, get overwhelmed by just like an office or business district when on the weekends, when people aren't there, it can die down, especially given what happened with COVID and all the changes with work-life balance. Although it seems like a lot are home from work versus at work. This kind of insulates it from those types of maybe changes that people have gone through. Josh, would you add anything else to that, or what's the next secret to building a city center?
Well, the next secret is leveraging the arena for all the other assets around it, really. Because now that the arena is going in the ground, and we'll be breaking ground in April, May. All of the hotels now, all of the mixed use, all of the other things that go into the district. From, we have a 200,000 square feet of retail. We've got 1,000 residences. We've got 800 hotel rooms coming online, and all of that basically comes to energy. But our big thing is also on programming. Like, it's one thing to build a place, it's another thing to have the place have texture and life and energy to it. And so we're within that, we've got a soccer team that's going to be playing in the arena. We've got lots of different tenants, like you said, from MMA and boxing and collegiate. But one of the things I'm really excited about is we have partnered with this group to do music festivals and block parties in the arena and the plaza. So we're going to become really a true music destination. We have some amazing partnerships that we've put together that'll be, top A-list stars coming through Rancho Cordova as kind of a big destination to perform.
Love it. And I want to think about like the Kings Arena, right? Like there's certain things that probably went amazing, right? And I think they did an amazing job. From an outsider looking in, like always loved going to the games. Always love that area, like the energy, all of it, the connection with the community, like it's incredible. That's the Kings Arena. So what did you learn about that, Josh, right? That you want to make sure you capture all of the best in class type of execution there. But maybe on the other side, maybe some things that didn't go as well as it could have or should have. And sometimes it's hard to know until you've gone through the project. But is there anything there where you're like, hey, let's make sure we do like this, but let's also make sure that we, avoid some of the mistakes. And I don't even know that there were mistakes. But someone from an outsider looking in, you might have or you're an insider, versus an outsider's like us.
Yeah, well, actually, it's kind of two ways I'll answer that question. One is on process and one is on design. On process,
Okay.
we learned through the Kings Arena and through a lot of these other major projects that you really want to have your environmental and EIR done before you get out there too far. Our project, we have an approved CEQA exemption for the entire project. So all the uses from the arena, the hotels, the restaurants, the any of the things that you kind of see that's in our proposed project are already by right uses because they have been covered under the convention center overlay. So we just have design review, and our designs are amazing. So we're pretty excited about that. We have great architects and a great team putting together the vision. But on the other side, it's programmatically, how do you make it so that you're doing what's a thing called placemaking, where people want to be there and they feel welcome. So things like soft corners in the design. To put in perspective, Doco is 14 acres, so the area around the Kings Arena. Our project's 28 acres, so it's twice the size. So that means there's a lot of things that we're doing every day, working with our team on designing it so that every single experience is great. I could sit at home right now and not go to an arena and watch a game. I could sit at my house and not get up and stay on my couch with my big old TV like everyone has. But we have to create a draw that makes it so that you want to get dressed, get into your car, go downtown to the new downtown, pay for parking, and go and experience this. So everything from getting there easily to the first sights, the first smells, the first looks, the design, everything, we're making it experiential from every point. Think of it like a theme park without walls concept in order to make it so that people want to be there and they feel proud to be there. And it's a draw where, not only are people coming here to vacation in Cordova, but people want to stay here if they live in our region.
Oh, that's amazing. Charlie, same question to you. Anything that you've learned over the years, or even through this process, that you want to make sure that these are the major pillars here. Like we got to get these things in place, and maybe some things to make sure that you stay clear of.
Yeah. So one of the things that Josh mentioned on the process side was CEQA. And for the folks that don't know what CEQA is, it's very unique to California, and so it's the California Environmental Quality Act. And so that is, there's a lot of studies and different things that kind of go into it. It's costly. It takes up a lot of time, which is time is money. The amount of time that it takes to get through all the studies for CEQA is substantial. And so having that CEQA exemption is one of the biggest things for a project. And so,
by the way, how does one get a CEQA exemption? Like that sounds like it's really coveted. Like that's really great that you guys accomplished that. Is there a process to get that, or how did that all work out?
There was. So the process was actually it was a 10-year process. It was through the creation of what the district currently sits in called the Convention Overlay District. And so the Convention Overlay District took into consideration and went through the process. So this isn't necessarily, the project isn't bypassing the process. The process happened, but it happened a while ago, and it come up with this designation of the Convention Overlay District.
That's important, right? Because some people hear that and go, like, wait, well, how do they not go process? I'm glad you explained that. And so it's the California Environment Quality Act. Okay, so back to the question. So what are the things that you want to make sure that, like, hey, we got to get these right? You got to champion these pillars, this big domino. If we get these right, the rest of the things either become much easier or not, even maybe not as relevant if we make sure we hit these big things.
Yeah. So for the arena, it was, I'll talk about the arena and then the greater district. So for the arena, we went to multiple arenas around the country, and we had multiple people that owned, operated, were general managers of different arenas. And one of the biggest points that they made was storage and not having enough storage. And so when we went to the program, and there were other things, right? So it was storage, it was seating, it was flow, it was functionality of the arena, it was back of house, how you get service from back of house, it was concerts, it's making sure that the rooms that artists are staying in are done up in a way that they want to be in, that they want to come back. And so when you set that standard of what that looks like, then more and more artists want to come out and be in that space and play in that arena and be in the district as well. And so a lot of that programmatic for the arena was really designed in a way where we brought on a fantastic architect, but it was also being able to go and have these conversations with multiple venue operators, owners, and managers to understand what we needed to do and how we needed to step it up, because arenas aren't built every day, right? And so we wanted to make all of our research to get to this point. And
I think it's so smart. I mean, how else do you know unless you travel to these different arenas and these different places? I love it. Storage, seating, flow, back of house. I even think about, like, you know, we're now living in Jacksonville, just a couple hours from Orlando, and we go to Disney World and we go to Universal Studios, and I don't know if you know this, but like all of the garbage cans for Disneyland, like if you put garbage inside of them, it basically has a suction system where it goes down and under the ground. So you never see like, you know, Mickey Mouse carrying like bags of garbage around, right? Like it just goes into the system. Like, I'm curious, did you guys go to like a Disney World or Disneyland or like even just theme parks to also get some inspiration or some ideas?
So for the project, we actually didn't, but I've been to many theme parks, and so has Josh. But that's fascinating. That's really interesting to know that the garbage, so that you don't have this piled up garbage and like it's not overflowing and on the ground. So that's really great that they've built in like.
And that's Disney World. I mean, that's the best in the world at what they do for experience, right? But just like those kind of ideas, and I like that you say like storage and flow in the back of the house and different things, like the actual, you know, functionality of the day to day. And some of these things, it's like you don't know unless you go to the arenas and you talk with the people. And you're like, hey, what are the roadblocks you face every time? And you know, they're like, well, if they would have just built this extra storage or this part for parking, or you know, light rail being connected, and how close it is. Anything Ranch was pretty cool with the light rail and that kind of overflow ideas of time and energy and flow. Like all of it is so important. Well, so it sounds like you guys are thinking through these things. Go ahead, Josh.
To answer your question, I've been to a lot of the theme parks and looked at it from that perspective. And the whole point at the end of the day is the show can't end. You have to have the show continuing. So all these back of house things that people don't see are just as important to making sure that it happens. Because like you said, if you got big old trash trucks coming across and how it's designed, or if you have different things like that, it takes away from the experience. So the experience isn't just for the people coming, as Charlie pointed out. The experience is also for the artists and performers, making it so that they want to come again. But also, we did get a people mover idea from them. Which is we are just less than a quarter mile from a light rail station, so we're considered a transit-oriented development, and we're actually in the process as a future phase of the project of actually studying a basically gondola system that basically, think of like a ski lift that's enclosed to get people from the light rail station to the project, and that was inspired by kind of what we saw at Disney.
There you go. I love it. By the way, people want to learn more about what Josh and Charlie are doing. Go to causepeer.com, kozpeer.com. They have the Cordova City Center that you can learn all about. And the Cordova City Center is designed to give Rancho Cordova the vibrant core it deserves. For decades, the city has grown without a true downtown. And what Josh and Charlie are championing is a place where people can naturally come together. And that can change the community. It's going to drive jobs and create over 37,000 jobs, which is really incredible. And it's led by Cause Pure Development and Alpha One Sports and Entertainment Group. So, okay. What is the need or the ask now? You may be looking for investors, you may be looking for financing, you may be looking for what, from the local resident in Sacramento, or from what's kind of the big push here to get this through to the finish line?
Goodness. So really if anybody wants to learn more about the project, feel free to reach out to us. We're open to, if there's ideas out there, if there's anything related around anyone that has kind of an idea about different types of tenants or different types of programs, or just even around the district coming in, or if somebody's invested in or wanting to come in as part of an investment and wanting to invest in kind of a community stock that we've started, we'd be happy to share some of that information as well. But in terms of the project, it's really, we're starting out with the arena. That's phase one of the project, and then we're going into the hotels and then developing everything kind of phased out. So there's multiple opportunities over the next 5 to 8 years, and we're always happy to talk with folks that are in the space and interested.
That's awesome. By the way, when do you think, if everything goes the way it could go with the timing, when do you think the arena potentially might be complete and ready for activities?
That's a great question. So we plan to be open by November 2027. So that's in alignment with MASL season, who is our anchor tenant. So we have an expansion team that we're bringing in, which is a MASL team. So it's Major Arena Soccer League. So it's arena soccer. We were awarded a men's team and a women's team. And so we're going to be launching the men's team, because Sacramento used to actually have a team here back in the 90s, early 2000s, and they won a championship. So they won a championship in 1999, and everybody, a lot of folks that we've talked to have been super excited about the team coming back, and an arena soccer team coming back to the region, because it was so incredibly popular. And so I'm gonna kick it over to Josh, because Josh can speak to the history a little bit about the team.
Absolutely. Let me hit two items first before that. So 2 ways that people can plug in. One is, it's a 20-acre district. The vision with us in the city is actually to expand that district quite a bit beyond those boundaries. And they've put a lot of provisions in the agreement that we have with them to incentivize that. So we're looking for partners who are interested in, if they want to come in and help us take down surrounding land to basically be part of the downtown district. We'd be definitely interested in conversations about that. And then, the arena stack has gone really well, but we're in kind of the final phases of the last few million. So if there's people who are interested in participating, that we'd always welcome that. As far as arena soccer goes, it's fast, it's high energy, it's exciting. I love, I'm a big sports fan. At the end of the day, I love going to a soccer game, but when it ends 1-0, that's just not an exciting day. In arena soccer, you could have a match in 10-9. It's much more physical. It's basically on a hockey rink. And so there's just a lot of different rule changes that make it it's its own thing. It's basically like soccer and hockey had a baby, and it was exciting. So it's really exciting, and we're excited to bring it back to the region. And one of the things that's been so cool about it is there's so many people who remember the Knights, and the Knights team didn't fail. What happened was the Kings and the Knights were bought by the Maloofs, and when that transition happened, the Knights were sold off to another market because the Kings were going after a WNBA team, and that was going to compete with dates. So there were 59,000 people who signed a petition trying to get the Kings to bring back the Knights because they had actually won a championship. And so we're doing that. And I got to tell you, as we look at bringing back arena soccer and whatever team name will be, we're basically teeing up this huge fan base of nostalgia, but also I think it applies to future generations because if you're Gen X and Gen Z, you and Gen Y, you want fast, high-paced things that keep your attention, and this is that.
Oh, amazing. I love all of this. By the way, if people want to connect with Charlie and Josh, go to collegepeer.com. Josh and Charlie, we're way out of time. Are you guys ready for the lightning round?
Let's go.
All right.
All right, we'll start with Josh, and then we'll go to Charlie, and we'll just go back to back to back. So, Josh, if you go back to your 20-year-old self, what's the one gold nugget make sure you tell yourself to do?
One gold nugget I tell myself to do, it would be a personal thing, which is just always stay in your word, stay close to the Lord, and don't ever have a period of your life where you veer away.
Okay, excellent, great. Same question, Charlie. Charlie, if you go back to your 20-year-old self, what's one gold nugget make sure you tell yourself to do?
Stay ambitious, work hard, and keep working towards all the goals that you set.
Fantastic. Question number 2, and we'll start with Charlie. Charlie, number 1 book you recommended or most in the past year?
Ooh, the past year, Abundance.
Who is it by? Do you know?
Oh my goodness, I'm blanking on their names. Ezra and I can't remember the other guy's name.
That's fine. Ezra's fine. We know. We'll figure that one out. Same question to Josh. Josh, what's the number 1 book you recommended in the past year?
Read recently the Titan about John D. Rockefeller. Fantastic history and kind of business analysis of how he pulled off what he did.
Excellent. Fantastic. Next question, and we'll start with Josh. Josh, what are you most curious about right now?
I'm most curious about placemaking and artificial intelligence and the way that AI and robotics will impact everything from every industry and how it will impact the decisions we make on this project. We spend a lot of time building our own, built my own AI model for this project in ChatGPT, and we have a partner, an outside partner that we work with a lot because of this. It's becoming an AI district. So I'm just like really interested in understanding not just how it works, but what impacts it's going to have and how to leverage that for good.
Oh, I love it. Same question to Charlie. Charlie, what are you most curious about right now?
Right now, AI, absolutely AI, technology, the advancements in technology, and how that's going to impact the district and the arena, as well as real estate and the markets especially.
Awesome, love it. And we'll next question. So, number 1 leadership quote or theme that you strive to live by. We'll start with Charlie.
So mine might not. I don't know if this is appropriate or not, but I'm gonna put it out there anyways. Don't half-ass 2 things, whole-ass 1 thing, and that's Ron Swanson.
Okay. Excellent. That's great. Same question to Josh. Josh, what do you think?
Never burn a bridge you might have to crawl back over.
Okay, good. Excellent, great. Last question, and it's kind of the essence of the podcast, which is a mindset of stewardship or ownership. And so we'll start with Josh. Josh, what does that mean to you, being a steward versus an owner, and what's the best way that you stay centered and stay encouraged to charge forward to reach new heights?
Well, this project and what I'm doing, this vision came to me. My belief is from God. And so I view what I'm doing and the work I'm putting in, if it's not for me and it's really for building this incredible place for the community that I feel like He put on my heart, then your work ethic, your time, the way you value what you're doing is different because it's not for you. And so to me, this is a stewardship. When I talk to my kids about the project and the things we're doing, this is stewardship. This is obviously a financial thing. It needs to be successful, but it needs to be stewarded well. It needs to be managed financially well. It needs to be designed well for the future. So we spend a lot of time researching, planning, and doing things right. You can overplan, you can over research. So part of it is also an act of faith in doing things and trusting God. Which at every single point of this project, we have pulled off with this project. Something that I think most people, can't even imagine. Even we haven't had, we've had some time to explain it. But the reality is the agreement we have with the city is a first in the nation structure to really incentivize this new thing. And so they tied a lot of it personally to me and Charlie in the way the deal was structured, because they're expecting us to have stewardship to do this the right way for our community.
Amazing. Absolutely love it. Same question, Charlie. Charlie, what's the best way you stay centered in your values, and also what does stewardship over ownership mindset mean to you?
So for me, it really is centered around community. It's being able to build a place for people to go to for people to be a part of. So when I go out and I see people that are, going and hanging and being part of something that's greater, that's really what drives me. So I've got a lot of faith in a higher power, in God, and that's something that's really carried me forward. It's my family, my husband, and a place that we want to go to. And so it's really centered around community and making sure that we're building this with community in mind, and understanding that what we're putting together it's not for ourselves. It's not for, it's not for just one person. It's for being able to take into consideration everybody. And so even through the design, making it pedestrian friendly, making sure that it's a safe place for people to go to, was really, really important to us. And we've poured of course we poured our finances into it, and we poured a ton of money into it, but we poured our heart and soul into this project. And that's something that a lot of times, it's not a stamp this and let's do this and then move on to the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. It's how do we continue to make it better? How do we continue to make sure that it's something that keeps growing? And so in terms of that, it really is centered around community.
Amazing, Charlie. Thank you so much. Josh, thank you so much. I want to encourage you to keep doing what you're doing. Keep building a city center in Rancho Cordova, building a community and making an impact. You two are doing amazing work, and I want to encourage everyone to support by going to causepeer.com to find out, and then connected on the social medias as well. Reach out to Josh and Charlie. Causepeer.com is KOZpeer.com. And I also want to thank all of our listeners for listening to another episode of the Billions podcast. We're also streaming on Capital Gains Tax Solutions podcast. We're here on this journey with you to scale from millions to billions, so we can give more all the way to help MVPs make an impact in our community, practice stewardship over ownership. We can live a life with no regrets and bless other people. My name is Brett Swarts. I want to encourage you to take action today too. If you have a big exit coming up, to be able to steward your capital, defer your capital gains taxes, you can go to capitalgainstaxsolutions.com. It's capitalgainstaxsolutions.com. Please share this with someone. It could be a blessing too, and we'll talk to everyone again real soon. Bye now.
You have just listened to another information-packed episode of Capital Gains Tax Solutions with Brett Swarts. We hope you enjoyed today's show and found it helpful. Visit capitalgainstaxsolutions.com to access the show notes and to access more resources. Don't forget to leave a review and join us again next time.